He just beats me up.
We kept our granddaughter. She's 5. So Saturday
Sounds
afternoon,
good.
Sunday night, we got went to church with her, and parents come got her about Sunday. I was giving her maybe 24 hours. I was giving her.
Bree came in here Saturday night, just hugged me. She said, I know what it's been on me all day. She said, thank you. And I said, Lord, just let me get in the bed. Thank you, dear. Ernst?
This probate bill in here, probate courts, we're moving that over in the Senate. So we don't have to move it here. It's going to get through. Brian Strickland's going to carry it in the Senate. And we'll get a sponsor for the process.
Why don't you say I want it sent back to committee?
Well, I can do whatever you want.
That was out of here. I don't have to keep looking.
Okay, all right. So just make a motion.
I'll second it.
How are you?
You're on.
Good morning. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend. Bow with me. Gracious Heavenly Father, here we are again asking you to forgive us of our sins. To say thank you for the wonderful blessings that you give each of us, the gifts. Thanks for being there for us. We ask that you put your hand on us. Lead us and guide us. Let us do things that please you. Let us remember that all things are possible through you. I ask these things in the name of the Prince of Life. Amen. Just a reminder, of course, for members of this committee, you get 3 absences. They have to be excused. After 3, you get removed from the committee. Works real well. I don't like a lot of you anyway, so who didn't hear that? He heard it pretty well, and he's back there. I don't like either one of y'all. Oh, me. It gets better, y'all. Hitchens?
Yes, sir.
What do you want?
I would say something else, but you're in such a good mood, I'm not going to. Mine is open rule, House Bill 135, top of the page. This actually corrects an oversight. 2 years ago, we passed a bill here. Amy Carter originally carried this, and since she's left, she asked me to take it over. But it allows for state law enforcement officers to buy back 5 years of their local time if they don't receive any defined contribution from that. They have to pay the full actuarial amount back into the fund, and the Department of Driver Services has 16 investigators, and they were left off. The State Patrol, the GBI, Pardon and Parole, Game and Fish all got this bill passed 2 years ago, but they were inadvertently left off, so this is just to correct that.
Why did they get left off the last time?
Well, as you know very well, the Department of Driver Services was formerly in the State Patrol for about 40 years. They changed it in 2002, and during that time frame, state troopers always did that investigation. And when they became a separate entity, they had to hire people to do the investigative work. So they typically hire a lot of law enforcement officers from local agencies to do the investigations on their employees and those people that commit fraud and other things that Driver Services is in control of.
And they can buy back 5 years?
That's correct.
Mr. Knight?
Mr. Chairman, since you're in a good mood, your answer to your question, I say this half-heartedly. Are these the folks that are out there pulling over our locals?
No, no. These people
with the
don't do
deliveries
anything.
and keeping them for 2 or 3 hours.
Those,
And I say that jestfully, but
we've spoken about that before.
their aggressiveness, though, is being noted everywhere.
That's part of the Motor Carrier Compliance Division, which is assigned to the Department of Public Safety. They're already covered in this. They do. They're post-certified, but they investigate fraud in driver's license, everything from obtaining driver's license fraudulently to people in the department who issue driver's license fraudulently. And, you know, you get a tractor-trailer driver that gets his driver's license suspended and he can't work. Some of them are willing to pay a lot of money. DeKalb County, we had some in DeKalb County where they arrested 6 or 7 of them for felony charges when some of the license examiners were issuing driver's license back to people who've been suspended by changing their date of birth one day or 1 month or something to that effect, or changing their name. So,
Mr. Martin?
Thank you, Colonel. Take a question.
yep. Yes, sir.
The actuarial cost of this, they buy back their time for the 5 years, and so it is not true that when they do that, the very minute they do that, the state's not out of pocket any money. But immediately following that in a defined benefit system that we are notorious here from overestimating the discount rate, that the state taxpayers are going to be on the hook for those 5 years starting afterwards. Can you tell me what the estimated cost for these 18 individuals would be going forward? And does this open this up for future people, or just are we putting a fence around these?
I think it opens up
people
for
there?
everybody. Like I said, I just took this over the other day when Amy called me, but the actuarial cost, when you actually see it, will be prohibitive. I've seen these before, and I've never known anybody that was able to purchase it because except one person who got terminated in another agency who had to have that time, and I think he paid like $100,000 into it to get it, so to buy 9 or 10 months.
Further question. So to understand that we're doing this so they can do it, but you don't think anybody will be able to afford to do it?
That's correct.
And then we would be doing it for what reason then?
Because everybody else that is in state law enforcement has already got it. The State Patrol, the GBI, Department of Natural Resources, this passed 2 years ago for all of them. And these people were just left off inadvertently. They didn't, I don't think Amy realized that they were actual law enforcement officers that did that. And
Everybody except them have been given the opportunity.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. I was just wondering that, but then the Colonel said that he didn't think anybody would do it. Do you know if anybody over the past 2 years in those other agencies?
Not to my knowledge, and like I said, this wasn't my bill, and I hadn't followed it until Amy called me here about a week ago.
Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you.
us knew who it was. Would you like to make a motion? Go.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion that we send House Bill 630 back to the Judiciary Committee to have a further discussion on the underlying policy about replacement of probate court judges and the succession of judges when a judge leaves office before the end of his term.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All right, 630's been sent back to committee. We have one other bill, but we don't see Mr. Watson. Okay. We'll just go ahead and start with tomorrow, Tuesday, under open rule, HB 135. Any opposed? All right, that's it.